Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. My name is Emily, this is my tortoise Robert, and we live in the deep south of Louisiana. That's right, south of New Orleans, if you could believe that. So in August of 2021, we unfortunately experienced the devastation of Hurricane Ida, and while that was about 8 months ago, we still have not quite finished the recovery process. You're going to see in today's video that the fence in the tortoise enclosure is completely wrecked. However, I want you to notice that there is another layer in front, and this is before the storm, so it was at one point a whole fence. But in the front of the wooden part, there's a metal part that is keeping Robert safe and in his enclosure. And so I just wanted to take the opportunity to let you guys know that even before the storm hit, we had a ton of big plans for his space because it's all about how we can enrich his life and make him happy. So while his space was not perfect to begin with, the storm definitely made a major move in setting us back. So we have a lot of upcoming cool, fun, creative stuff coming up, and I really hope you guys subscribe and stick around to see what we do to make Robert's life just a little bit sweeter. And this is sort of just a day in the life, so hang out with us and see how Robert's day goes on this beautiful afternoon. So here's that wrecked fence I was telling you guys about, but on another note, a tortoise's diet should be 90% grasses and weeds. So in Robert's bowl, he has Timothy hay, which I bought from a pet store, and that is because Timothy hay is a great hay for a lot of different animals, including rabbits, guinea pigs, even pasture animals like cows and horses and stuff. So it's number one for sulcatas, and then during the winter month I had planted the ryegrass that you see currently. It's in the transitioning phase back to our summer grass, which is a Bermuda grass, which is also pretty good for tortoises. But 90% of his diet is grasses and weeds, so it's really important that that's what we have a lot of going on in the enclosure. And while eating grass is his number one food source, his number one activity is walking. Tortoises can walk for miles. That is why having a sturdy fence is so important, because if this guy gets out, he is just gonna walk and walk and walk and walk and just not stop walking. And that's why the fence is just such an important issue, and we're going to be working on that pretty soon here. But this is Robert at 8 times speed, so while he does enjoy walking and he can be quite fast, especially when food is involved, this is not his actual pace. He is at 8 times the speed of what he would normally be walking at. And of course, he cannot simply walk, he must walk and eat. So that's his main hobby right there. Raking Robert's house actually only happens about 1 to 2 times a week, so this isn't technically a day in the life because I don't do this every day with him. But whenever I was out there on this day and I saw how much poop was in his house, it was definitely time for a poop scoop. So, sorry if poop grosses you out. But remember that tortoise poop is essentially just digested grass, and since he's not a meat eater, it doesn't even really have a smell. So, what I do is I rake it up and collect it, and what I'm working on for the summer is a new compost area for his poop because you cannot just put tortoise poop directly onto plants. There's far too much ammonia because they often urinate as they poo at the same time, and so you have to give that ammonia a chance to break down, and that's where the composting part comes into play. So I've been filling up this wheelbarrow for about this is maybe 3 months worth of poop because he was just dormant in the winter. He didn't make that much poop, but now we have quite a large collection going on here. And this is the inside of his house, all nice and clean. As you saw earlier, he already headed in there to check my work and make sure I didn't, do anything wrong. And so now his camera, you can see in the corner there. I always like to have a camera in his house just because of his heating elements in the winter, and of course, so I can keep tabs on him while I'm at work, as a good mother typically does. And so this is pretty much what I have for you today. I hope you guys really enjoyed hanging out with us and seeing Robert do his little thing. He's going to eat some flowers here in a second. Hibiscus flowers are actually his natural source of sugar in the wild, so he absolutely devours my hibiscus bush, which means I now have to keep it outside of his enclosure because he will literally knock it over and eat every single leaf and bloom off of the bush. Well, that's been a pretty typical afternoon for Robert and I. We thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you again in the next one. Bye!